Welcome to ssbprep.com. In this video, I'll be telling about word association test, or the WAT as it is commonly known as. So, what are we going to learn in this course? Let me give you a brief insight about our objectives. First of all, I'm going to tell you about what is WAT or word association test. So, in this, I'll tell you what this test is, what kind of format it is, what are the ways to tackle this test, when is it conducted, on what day, etc. etc. The overview of the test. Next, I'll be telling you about how to tackle it. Okay, in that I'll tell you about some tips and tricks, some basic ways of doing test, how to prepare yourself, and some other important stuff that will come handy when you'll be giving the actual test. Okay, apart from that, some tips and tricks which are things that I have learned over time, plus other people who have given SSB, they've learned from their experiences, and thus these things will come handy for you as well. Okay, before I go further, let me give you some disclaimer and some details also about this course. So, first of all, let me tell you some details that this course is entirely based on the experiences of those who have already been through SSB and have been recommended, as well as it is about the introspection that those people have done. Okay, so it is all about the experiences, there is nothing official about it. All right, and then disclaimer that SSB prep is in no way associated with Government of India or the selection procedure. Okay, so these are two important things that we wanted to tell you before we go ahead with the video. Now let me tell you what is WAT, or the word association test. So as the name suggests, word association test. It is a test in which you have to associate a word with your thoughts. Now whenever you hear a word in our normal day life, something would come up into your mind. For example, if I say mango right now, then you will imagine immediately a tree with some mangoes on it, or maybe some of you would imagine Katrina Kaif doing that ad of slice drink, or maybe something else, right? So everybody has their own separate thoughts about a particular word. Somebody would imagine something, whereas the other person would do the other thing. So that totally depends on your personality. Okay, so we can clearly say that this is the test of your personality, right? And how do they test it? There will be a big screen, actually a projector screen. So on that there will be some words which will be being displayed, right? So it is actually a slide kind of thing. So you'll see that words are being displayed on slides. There'll be total 60 slides. So these are broken into 20 20 20, right? So this is how it goes. There will be 20 slides on each instance. So you'll be given an answer sheet in which there will be 20 blank spaces. After those 20 blank spaces are filled, you'll have to turn the page, which is why I've broken it into 20 20 20, right? So on the screen, and on one chance, there will be only one word shown. For example, your first word is mango. So mango stays there for 15 seconds, right? So 15 seconds for each word. Mango stays there for 15 seconds, then mango goes away and orange comes. Then orange stays for 15 seconds, then guava comes. Okay, so that way one by one words will change. After every 20 words, there'll be a 15-second gap. Okay, that 15-second gap is given so that you can turn the page and come up to the new answer sheet, as well as if you're too fast or if you're too quick, you can simply go ahead and look back at the sentences that you have previously written. Okay, in case you have missed upon some word, you can add the answer there. In the WAT, you do not write the word, you simply mention the answer. For example, if mango is displayed on the screen, you do not have to write mango and then write the sentence. You can simply write the sentence that comes into your mind first upon seeing that word. Okay, so it is basically your reaction test. Okay, now what are the challenges that you will be facing while you will be dealing with this test? First of all, the major challenge that most of us will face is time management. Now time management is something that only practice can help you resolve, because I hope everybody here is 12th pass, right? So while we were giving our 12th board examination, there were some questions which were only 2 mark, there were some that were only 1 mark, and there were 5 mark questions, and there were 10 mark questions as well. What was the biggest problem that you faced while writing a 10 mark question? It was time management, right? You never felt that there is enough time to write such a big long answer, but then eventually you cracked it. How? You practiced well, you practiced for good long enough times, and that gave you the good speed which was required to tackle it. So time management is the first thing, and I think with good practice you will be able to do that easily within a week or two. Second, stress management. When you'll be working at 15 seconds per word, there will be times when you will miss upon words. Okay, and I'm very sure that the moment you miss one word, you'll panic. Okay, and this stress will not only come from time management, it will also come from unknown words. The moment you face some one word that you have never heard of before, it will immediately blow your mind. For example, let's say on the screen comes mesothelioma. Now what the hell does that mean for you, right? It's a type of cancer, by the way, but I'm sure that it will not be shown in SSB or somewhere, but I'm just giving you an example. Okay, so in that case, if you do not know the meaning of the word, you will definitely panic, and that is one thing that will hamper your performance. So stress management is going to one of the biggest challenges that you will face. And third thing is that your reaction has to be recorded. Okay, um in this case, let me give you one good example. For example, you hate somebody, like from the core of your heart. You hate that person, like let's suppose his name is Shyam, and the moment you see a word murder on the screen, you will write immediately in your copy that I want to murder Shyam. Now, seriously, that will hamper your performance, and that will hamper your personality perception also. So don't let those prejudiced thoughts come into your way while you are giving the test, because it is a very important and crucial time for you. Those few minutes of your life will decide whether you will become an officer or you will not. So just take it very seriously. Okay, now let me go ahead and tell you about the opportunities that you will face in those tests. Okay, so first of all, if you are prompt, you will be able to tackle the test very easily. Okay, so be prompt. Next, don't think too much. While you'll hear the instructions given by your psychological officer, the officer will tell you that you have to write the first reaction that comes into your brain upon looking at that word. So there is a reason why they say that, because the moment you'll see the word, there will be a reaction in your brain, you write it. That way you save your time, you give yourself enough time to write. Okay, but imagine if you look at the word, then you think of its meaning, then you think of a sentence that would come, then you think of whether this sentence is good enough to write or not. 15 seconds would be gone in a flash, and you will be missing upon sentences. And once that starts, you'll be in the panic mode, you'll start doing blunders while writing all the answers. Even though you will know everything right, you will be doing blunders, trust me. Okay, so this is one thing that you need to really take care of. Next, do not go back to a skipped word on last page. Now, why am I saying this? Let's say, I told you that you will get 20 seconds or 15 seconds of time after every 20 words, wherein you can just change your page. You can go ahead and see if any word has been missing or something like that has happened, right? So, this will also be the time when sometimes you'll be finding everything fine on the first page, and you'll see like, okay, let's go to the previous page and see if there is anything wrong. The moment you will turn your page, trust me, it will take 1 or 2 seconds to turn that page, and once you are over there, it will take you another 5 to 10 seconds to look at that page. So that means you will be spending around 12 to 13 seconds in this whole exercise. So just never go back to the previous page. No matter what happened, you did it right or wrong, never go there. Okay, so this is a golden rule you have to remember. Just do not go back to a skipped word on the last page, and do not worry about what you have already written. Okay, if you have written it, there is no point in just cutting it out and then writing it again. See, what I'm going to tell you is very easy. If you if you try to make a correction on your answer sheet, do it through a single line. For example, if I have to write more instead of much here, I'll just strike it out with a single line and then I'll write more. Okay, but in case I do it like this, then see what kind of impression does it make. It looks like as if a child did it, right? So don't do this. If you have to strike something out, strike it out with a single line, that's it. Okay, and now let me tell you about some special points that will help you improve your performance in the WAT section. First and foremost is have a clear handwriting. In case your handwriting is not clear, trust me, you will lose your chances. Nobody wants to read a paper where you cannot read anything. I have seen people who cannot read their own handwriting. So if you yourself cannot read your handwriting, how do you expect a psychological officer to waste his time on your copy? Yes, I will say that the psychological officer would be wasting his time. If you will Google this, you'll find a very good interesting thing, that your handwriting is one of the biggest mirrors of your personality. It shows up everything. If your handwriting is dirty, the chances of you becoming an officer are very less. I'm not saying that you need a marvelous handwriting. I myself do not have a good handwriting, but I have a decent handwriting, and I try to write it as clearly as possible. The way if I have to write something, I'll give proper spaces between words so that it is readable. I will not hurry up. I'll practice well to increase my writing speed, but I'll not hurry up just to go ahead and finish it up. Okay, so it should be readable. Write less but write good. Okay, and try to be crisp and clear. Now when I say crisp, it means it should be short and concise. You do not have to write a whole story. You have to write just one sentence. For example, border. Now you have two options. First, you can simply say border is separation between two countries, or you can say that India and Pakistan share a very long boundary which is established from Kashmir to Rajasthan. You can just go ahead, sorry, Gujarat. So you can just go ahead and blabber around. These are things you need to be clear. You need to be clearly, decided on these things, that what you are going to write. It should always be crisp and clear. Okay, so write it simple, write it short. Do not go too long, else you'll run out of time. I'm very sure about it. And the moment you go out of time, you'll not even know that the next word is flashed on the screen, and you will miss that. And then you'll miss out on the sequence of all your words. Okay, now manage your time well is something I would say, because if you want to go back to the previous words, for example, when you are done with your uh, 20 words are done, and then you want to go ahead and keep a check of all the words from bottom to top, your time should be managed well, because in that time you have to check, that you have to write if there is something missing, and then you have to turn the page. 15 seconds are very less, my friend. Take it very seriously. Okay, and be clear about the instructions. When the instructions are being given by your psychological officer, just ask him again if you're not sure of what you heard. If you're not clear about any instruction, ask again. He'll not penalize you for that. But in case you're not clear about instructions and you do a mistake, seriously, it will go against you. I'm telling you, it is very clear that it will go against you. Okay. Now, with that note, I would like to close this video, and just as a quotation, it's never too late. Okay, so every time in your life you feel like you have not done something, just do it today rather than never doing it. Good luck.